Hi, good evening and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. I am here with Abu. How are you doing tonight?
I've been doing good. It's been a while actually, hasn't it? It's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I've been like crazy busy. So, but it is nice to be back.
Lots of films to talk about in that time.
Exactly. So we're going to do a bit of a catch-up. We're going to do a speedy catch-up and we're going to kick it off with A Quiet Place. So this was directed and starring John Krasinski, and his wife Emily Blunt was starring alongside him, which was nice.
I heard a story that she actually originally asked someone else to do the role. Then she's read the script like, no, you got to cast me as the wife, and she has the overrule there. So
that is whipped, if ever I heard it. So the premise is we've got these creatures. Don't know where they came from, these monsters, but they are very sensitive to sound. So everyone has to be very quiet, and if you make a loud noise, the creatures will come and they will tear you apart. So what were your initial thoughts of this?
Right, so basically I think good to make it clear that John Krasinski is actually the director here. So he's actually very well known for comedy, like the US version of The Office. He's like the main character there. So when you see that he's directing a horror movie, you're like, I wonder how this is going to turn out.
How is this going to go?
Yeah. But after seeing Jordan Peele as a comedian going to Get Out, you're like, okay, fair enough. There could be some, that could be a sign of promise. But this one was great. I mean, simply put, the way it's done is amazing. I've not seen a movie that's actually that silent. Like there are scenes where it's literally just dead silence, and it's just really uncomfortable. Even in the theatre. And
you can hear everything that is happening in this theatre.
Every
you
leaf.
can hear like people shuffling in their seats. You can hear the leaves cracking and like their feet walking through the sand.
Every slightest bit of like noise, the film really did well capturing it, and that really built up the tension in the scene. So like they didn't really rush into showing the aliens too quickly. Yeah. Because some movies do have a mistake of just showing the monster early on, but I think this does hold back to about the middle of the way through the film. But even then, I don't think it kills the threat of the alien, because I think the whole scenario of the sound-based chase down is so well done. I think it keeps up that shock factor throughout the movie. Yeah, I definitely
agree with you. I think it was really good for them to have you see shots of it, but you don't see it in its full body.
It's like running through the trees or...
Exactly, until you get to the point where I think it comes in the house or something like that. And it does just build the suspense and the tension, and it's really thrilling, and I think the silence is...
golden.
Deafening. I think silence in it is deafening, because you're sitting there going, something's going to happen, something's going to jump out, and I'm going to scream, and I'm going to jump in the middle of the cinema in front of all these people.
And that's a sign that the director's done a good job in it.
Exactly,
I mean, Emily Blunt's character goes through so much in this movie. You really feel bad for her. Like how much more bad stuff can happen to her. And like the labor scene, which is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling it, it's just so...
Yeah, I know, you're just sitting there going... Oh but apparently she filmed that scene and then just got up and went, what are we having for lunch?
So, I mean, everything was done. I mean, the lead two were amazing. The child actors...
they didn't
really bother me too much. I mean, the daughter was a bit annoying in a sense, but I think that was the whole point of her. Like, the father had a bit of resentment towards her, obviously, through plot issues, but...
It is. I think it's meant to. It's meant to be a struggle with her to understand her.
Her character was supposed to be a bit annoying, and I think that kind of worked in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
so other than that, are there any other downsides to it?
Downsides, not really too much. I mean, because I think film overall is done well. I think the message of the film, the director John Krasinski mentioned, was what half our parents would go for their kids, and I think especially I forgot the main guy's name is also silent. But he does a really good job of portraying the actual of how far he would go for his kids. Yeah. And same with the mother. And the message is great. The action is very visceral in a sense. And hate-wise, I mean, there's nothing I can really say that bothered me too much about it. I mean, I suppose at the end it does get a bit too action-y with the shotguns coming out. Like, okay, that's a bit... Where did the shotgun come from? I'm supposed to be silent. And also, the whole baby subplot is a bit weird in a sense that the timeline-wise, the baby was conceived during this whole alien apocalypse world. So it's kind of how did that...
why would you do that?
What was that smartest... they didn't really explain how that
Yeah, it's funny because they go through all of these, precautions, laying their entire route to and from their house with sand and all these other...
every possible option is
Yeah, every scenario is covered, and he covers everything, and then he's like rewiring her hearing aid and things like that, and he's all of these really intelligent things. But then, nope, we're gonna go have a screaming baby.
I mean, yeah.
And we're gonna put an oxygen mask on it and put it in a box.
In a box and bury it. But obviously, the baby was a plot device for the tension in it, but it worked well. But that did kind of bump because the timeline shows that the kid was conceived during this whole scenario. Okay. Oh, well.
But I think the fact that throughout the film it was quite like a little bit pulled back, it made the action at the end a bit had more of an impact because the rest of the film is very much lower level.
You're kind of waiting for them to have turned the tables on them because the whole time they're on the back foot.
Yeah,
so at the end, it's a bit more satisfying when the shotgun does come and it's a shotgun.
Because everyone in America has a shotgun. So your sort of couple words review for this one?
I would just say it's a great movie. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say. I mean, I was going to make a pun out of it, but it's not a quiet hit. It's it's doing really well in the box office. So I'd say just go watch it. You love it.
Okay, I just had a couple of words. I think it's suspenseful, it's thrilling, and a little devastating as well. It's very sad at some points.
Yeah, I mean, there are bits in it. I was like, oh man.
But the other take-home message for this, if you're going to go see it, do not eat in the cinema. I know that so many other critics are coming out and saying, just don't. Because
I want to eat my popcorn.
No, it is a silent movie. The only noise is like a little bit of tension music and then some waterfall, and that's it.
Not your sweet popcorn and
you
your
have
nachos.
About 30 seconds of noise in which to eat your food.
When the waterfall shows up,
grabbing
your mouth.
Okay, so let's move on to the first of our 1-minute reviews.
So who's timing who?
I'm gonna pass it over to you, and I will time you. You are on the clock. So, Truth or Dare,
Hold up, let me just pull out my quick research because I
your,
accidentally deleted all my research on my phone. Right.
Get your notes up.
So
are you ready?
Yep. So this is Truth or Dare, yeah?
Truth or
for
Dare.
The camera, yeah? So
for the camera. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so Truth or Dare starring Lucy Hale, Tyler Posey and Violet Bean. I don't really know any of them apart from Lucy Hale. Directed by Jeff Wadlow. Is a horror movie, which is pretty bad basically. It's a film about a group of teenagers who go on spring break, end up in Mexico, and they play a game of Truth or Dare, and he ends up being possessed by a demon, which is a bit okay. So basically they have to do Truth or Dare. If they fail, the demon will kill them off one by one, and they're basically pulled into this supernatural game. How am I doing for time? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Basically, overall, this film isn't the greatest. I think it's probably the worst movies of the year so far. The characters are awfully bland. You don't care about them. The storyline doesn't make sense. At times, the demon just randomly starts changing the rules of the film just because they want to add some drama. The characters are just so hateable. They do actions which are like, you know what, I hope you die anyway, which isn't the greatest of things in a horror movie. And this is probably by far the worst movie I've seen this year. There's a lot more I could say about it, but I really even want to watch it even on a free Cineworld pass. Flatliners was better.
Oh,
Flatliners,
wow. Flatliners?
And this close to swearing, this close. This close to swearing.
It is that.
But yeah, but seriously though, it is just like, there are cheesy movies, but then there's just like bad movies.
Then there's this.
This tries to be serious. That's where it fails.
So don't watch.
Yeah, if you're really bored, then
or really into really rubbish horror.
Exactly. Some people just love horror movies, so for that. Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Get your timer up. It's my turn.
It's your turn now. Okay, I'm on like 20% battery, man. How much battery does this?
It's not going to take that much battery.
Oh, better not. Okay.
So I'm
going more dramatic. I'm going to put a countdown on for the sake of drama.
I'm going to be talking about blockers.
Okay.
So something that's actually supposed to be funny.
Yeah, so this is a comedy starring all I know is John Cena. I'm going to leave out John Cena.
But you can't see him.
Oh, no. Just that. Right, okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
So Blockers, it is a new comedy movie directed by Kay Cannon, starring John Cena, Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz. And it is about a group of parents who their children have met when they were really small and they've grown up together. And now they're at secondary school or high school. They're going to prom together. And they have made a pact where they are going to become adults, let's say, with some guys. And the parents find out about this because of a lot of strings of emojis and there's eggplants everywhere. And they want to stop it because their children are innocent little flowers and they don't want some boys to come and ruin that. So they follow their kids around for most of the film and try and stop them from doing this. But along the way, A lot of like crazy, cringeworthy stuff happens, but they learn something. They learn about the fact that, you know, it's apparently it's fine for guys to go
10 seconds
and go and do this, but for girls they shouldn't. And then there's a lot of things about homosexuality and trying to hide that from your friends, but really you should embrace it. And it has a lot of really good laughs and a lot of really good lessons.
Dramatic reaction. Okay, that's great. Just one quick question.
Yeah.
How funny is it? Because always
action.
That's always a question I ask for comedies.
Okay. My three words were literally were cringeworthy fun, but it is like sometimes you're like, ooh.
So it's a bit more of that kind of humor than like more like Hangover kind of like. Ooh.
It is very very Hangover,
okay,
but
cool.
like you do learn a lot about like parental responsibilities. It draws on a lot of good stuff like that, but it is so funny.
I think John Cena really has got that niche now. Like he's become quite a good comedic actor.
Yeah,
right
he's
now,
really come out as a really good comedy actor. So I'm glad, and he does really well in this movie. So I'm happy about that.
Right.
And actually, one more thing was Catherine Newton, who's one of the daughters. She's been in like Lady Bird, 3 billboards, and she's going to be in Detective Pikachu.
Oh my days, you Ryan Reynolds.
All right, moving on to our final movie,
Yes.
and this is Rampage, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, directed by Brad Payton. Also starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Joe Manganiello. And Naomi, Joe M, and Naomi Harris. So we've got a gorilla, and we've got some pathogen that has genetic engineering or
kaiju.
Genetic editing properties, and there was space experiments. They don't really go too much into it, but they re-enter the planet's atmosphere, and then they infect a gorilla and an alligator and a wolf.
Could have been something innocent like a butterfly or, you know.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
Could you imagine like a giant butterfly?
That'd be more creepy than
that'd be messed up. So this evil company are saying that they are going to draw the genetically engineered animals into Chicago, because that's the best idea that ever happened.
I think once I get to this movie, the villains have a special part of the review for them, but
yeah. So I'm going to throw it to you. What do you think?
Right, so the plot is very simple. The Rock has this relationship with this albino gorilla, which I think is one of the best parts of the movie.
It is beautiful.
Him and George actually go on really long. I mean, they have this whole sign language interaction between each other, which is a lot more
all the way through.
Which is a lot more than I thought. Actually, I thought there wouldn't be any much communication between the two, but this film really builds upon The Rock and his gorilla, and basically they find out, these other monsters are gonna attack Chicago. So basically it's down to them to stop it. So it's basically a gorilla versus a wolf versus a crocodile versus The Rock. So in like a fatal 4-way match. But this movie is literally pure action fun. It is mindless. On Rotten Tomatoes it's 50%. For a reason. It's not amazing. It's not the worst. It's just pure popcorn.
It's what they described it is like simple, dumb and fun.
It really is.
And it's exactly like the video game. So
I didn't know it was a base for video game, to be honest.
So the video game, it's one of those like 80s arcade cabinet ones. And literally the premise of the game is you have your gorilla, alligator and wolf, and you go through, you level a city, you move on to the next one,
Chicago.
You level the city.
Yes, it's so much. Transformers destroys pretty much every movie.
Transformers. So a lot of people are saying it's being actually really faithful to the video game, because it is just pure carnage.
It's just it's Rampage.
It's pure Rampage, and that's what it is. And I like the fact that it is using the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, it really is.
The plot is simple, the motivations are simple or not there at all, and it's just a lot of crazy action.
You know what you're going into, basically. I mean, this is where Pacific Rim Uprising had an issue. It tried to be a bit too smart, and it tried to rewrite the previous movie, which is far better, and it's trying to make its own thing. If it was just basically monsters and aliens fighting for the entire robots and aliens, I would not mind it. Which is here,
that's
what it is.
Pacific Rim was.
Yeah. Whereas this one is just, that is the plot. There's no hidden sub, there's no plot twist, there's no like horror, I'm actually the villain. There's none of that. It's just
and what do they do to actually calm down George? Is give him a chill pill.
Yeah, it's
literally called the chill pill. And that's how they bring him back.
The Rock and George are great, and I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan as like just some random special agency guy. He's hilarious. Every time he's
like, I'm a cowboy.
Every time he shows up, it's great.
He's got like some weird like gold, silver pistol as well, and he's got like this big belt buckle.
He's randomly a cowboy. I don't know why, but he's great in this movie.
He was funny.
on the bad side of things, like I said, the plot isn't very... It's not anything, to be honest. The bad guys are so awful. They are just so cheesy.
They're so bad.
They're like by far like the worst bad guys I've ever seen. It's like their plan is, so we get these monsters, we'll activate this beacon, they'll come to our office and destroy it. Yeah. Then we'll just capture them and take the sample away. I'm like, you're just two people. How are you going to capture this raging gorilla and take it like...
they're actually stupid.
Yeah, she's like, she tries to be some sort of like suave, calculated. Like, no, she's just stupid.
Yeah.
The guy is just also... He's legit. He's just moronical in this movie.
He's like actually
And it's just like, it's like on the brink of like just satire, these enemies. They're like a generic bad company.
The thing is, right, I don't mind when a movie has a really simple plot and just a perfectly set out goal, and they have achieved it, because it's not supposed to be complicated. It is it's The Rock coming out of Jumanji. You know he's going to be doing something kind of silly, and you have a giant gorilla, a giant wolf, and a giant alligator, right? Just two-headed shark attack doesn't try and be a serious movie. It is a two-headed shark attacking people, and this is giant animals.
The film is also quite graphic. Some of the scenes are very...
there's a lot of blood.
One kid in the cinema actually cried at a certain scene when it happened. I'm like, I'm with you, kid. I wasn't expecting that myself.
You're like, just like, no, it's like a 12A. I get it.
I think it's a 12A. And one of these kids saying...
Yeah.
It does get pretty gruesome at
It gets
points.
pretty graphic with the violence, and there is a lot of like rude gestures and things
also,
like that. George has got a great sense of humour.
Also, when the one on The Rock just gets shot, right? And then it just shows up again. Like, oh yeah, it just missed all my vital organs.
It's just a flesh wound.
And it just carries on. It's just
that
stupid.
is why we compare him to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
At least they acknowledge saying, yeah, he shot me, but it's still there. It just didn't hit anything of importance.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's not the greatest movie, the villains are awful. There are massive holes in the plot, like they keep on bringing this rat back. Like this rat's gonna be some sort of like hidden plot. Nope, the rat disappears.
Doesn't mean anything.
It's just like, yeah.
But I mean, you have Flash Thompson from the original Spider-Man movies.
Joe
Manganiello.
Yeah, I did wish he was a bit... I was hoping he was in a bit longer,
but he would have been a good character to keep around, but I think it was good that they didn't concentrate on too many characters as well. So you had The Rock, and you had Naomi Harris, who you might know as Moneypenny from the new Bond movies.
She's the Moneypenny.
She was also in 28 Days Later. She's the main female in a character.
That film was ages ago. I can't remember when that came out.
And also Joe is going to be Deathstroke in the new Justice League, but I just want to slide that in. Yeah, but okay, overall, so we're talking about sort of 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, but what do you think?
It's just damn good fun. It's just, I watched it, I wasn't even thinking about anything. For once, it just, and it's not that bad that you find it funny, it's just intense. Like the final third of the movie when they're in Chicago, it's utter chaos.
It is madness.
Like there's the film built, skyscraper's collapsing. Then they're like, I'm gonna jump off this building. Like, what's happening here?
we're gonna like fly a helicopter just above the top of the building and miraculously survive.
Even she's like, how did we survive? I can imagine like the script writer. So basically, the building falls, and we're gonna jump off. Like, okay, come here.
And we're just like breaking physics right now. The amount of buildings that fell on The Rock during that film.
He's indestructible in this movie.
He is indestructible. I think he had some of that pathogen, man. He must have.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't take any of that juice and get juiced up to like twice the size. That'd have been hilarious.
Juice.
Yeah.
That was the conjecture, though.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, does The Rock get bigger? No, he's big enough.
He's fine the way he is. Mine was a little bit more punny. I said ground-shaking entertainment.
Yeah. It is. It's basically, you know what you're expecting.
Exactly. I mean, if you've got giant animals, you're expecting something that is dumb.
And the actors, Dwayne Johnson and Jeffrey Dean Morgan are great. And I think those two alone make it bearable.
I've always liked Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but seeing him as Negan in Walking Dead.
Yeah, he kind of does the same.
As well. I've just
similar kind of persona.
You're here forever, man. You're here forever. So we're definitely saying go see Rampage. It's definitely a kind of like
if you like stupid action movies, watch it.
If you like stupid action movies.
If you're going to start combing through its logistical points and how it doesn't make sense, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
And probably don't watch The Meg either, that's coming out soon.
Jason Statham versus a shark, which is pretty much this in water.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to that.
It's fun to have the trailer for that just before Rampage. It's like clear. This is the audience they're targeting.
Yeah, this is target audience. You like your stupid action like movies. Giant monster movies. this is for you.
I really do hope Jason Statham has a fist fight with him. It has to be done.
With a megalodon.
I've seen worse, man.
Okay.
He could, and you know, Statham would probably win.
Yeah.
Because he is the Statham, man.
All right, then. I think we're going to bring it to a close.
Yeah.
So
Blasted through a lot of films.
Blasted through it, yeah.
Next
week...
Infinity War!
Infinity War. So obviously we're going to be here for half an hour talking about Marvel, as always.
Please don't die, Iron Man. That's what I'm saying.
We'll talk about it. Obviously, we could do a non-spoiler and a spoiler review.
Have to.
We're going to have to do that. All right.
Right,
so we'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye.
See you. Bye. And don't die, Captain America. Right? No one die.
No one die.
No one die. If everyone you can kill like War Machine. But I like War Machine. I like them all.
War Machine should have died in the last one.
Yes, he should have. Yeah, but Civil War was just pure banter though, wasn't it? No one died in Civil War, man.